Good morning, everyone. I'm back. I'm here to tell you about week 3, my time in Ireland. And for those who don't know me, I'm Kathleen. I'm here exploring life in Ireland as someone from the U.S. and blog about my adventures and give you tips on DNA and ancestor hunting and information on all kinds of subjects. So, week 3. First of all, you're seeing me in my glam attire, even though it's early in the morning, because I have very few winter tops. So, this is one of my winter tops. So, it was a little chilly today. So, week 3 covers most of my time in Ballintubber and also my time in Magraboy. Both of those are located in Mayo. Ballintubber is more towards the west side, and Magraboy is more towards the east side. So, what was the theme? The theme was ancestors, of course, trees, magic, and puzzles. So, what am I going to tell you? Okay, so bear with me because you know me and my little crib notes. I'm always trying to figure out where I'm at. So, okay, trees. First of all, I did lots of trees this past week. Everybody I meet, I do a tree for. So I did a tree for someone on my Walsh side, which is in Cluncundra, my mom's mom. And that's not far from Ballintubber Abbey. I also did tree on my dad's side, Frayne Duffy, and that was through the last name Green. Also looked at a couple of explorers, trees for people who didn't have any information that their father was maybe raised in an orphanage or foundling home and wanted to know more. So, those were some of the trees. And first of all, when it comes to trees and people, they don't even know that they want to know until they meet me. Once they meet me and I start showing them bits and pieces of stuff, all of a sudden, very interested. So, first step is recognition. I find an old photo or an old gravesite and show them the picture, and they're like, oh, kind of looks like Uncle Harry. Or do you think kind of like Cousin Tom? So then that's the recognition. Number 2 is the story. Show them like maybe a ship manifest or census report from the US, and then they start thinking, oh, well, yeah, they would have moved around that time because Ireland was X, Y, and Z, or, our family was ABC. And then they start thinking about the life they had there, the life they missed, and the disconnect, and maybe now reconnect. And 3 is me and my connection to them. Important one. I form bonds with anybody. I'm out to reunite all of Ireland with my tree. My kids always say I can find a connection to anybody. It's a big spider web that I like to create. And so I start by showing them their background and then start showing the steps back from mine, and we go back, back, back. Maybe we find great grandmother was the same, or maybe we find, oh yeah, well, DNA says you're related to descendants here, and your tree is here, and they both started in Comor. Maybe we're related. Ah! So that's the spider web. So, what next? Okay. Puzzle. Well, one of the puzzles I did was, remember I looked at those valuation records from Dublin? Well, I took them from Magraboy since I was staying there. And I went around and I tried to figure out who owned plots of land back and back and back. And what I did was I started to talk to neighbors of my cousins in Magraboy who I was staying with. And I'll tell you, people have a memory that seems to be longer than their own lifespan. Don't know how they do it, but they know stuff when they weren't even here. But with that, plus the records, plus census reports, I'm starting to piece it all together. But that'll be for another day. You'll have to tune in again. And then where? Okay. For my own tree, which is a puzzle also, I was looking at Frane relatives. And this is Frane spelled Frane, not Frain, which is me. And it was, eventually they turned it into Frayne. So you can see how the name moves around. So this was a couple named John Frane and Bridget Bard. And I have DNA connections to descendants of theirs. So I'm guessing it's the Frane, but you never know. It could be something else. They settled in Fall River, Massachusetts, which seems to be a big location for a lot of relatives of mine from the Kilmavie area. They wound up there. And what I did was I went through any record I could find on them, like their census reports, death reports, grave markers, anything. And I just bit by bit by bit. Sounds tedious, but for me, I love it. I love it. Found all kinds of stuff. Found that maybe Bridget was married before she married John. And that not all of their kids were born in the U.S. Looks like William might have been born in the U.K. And also saw, their life, like that they worked in the yarn mills, the cotton mills in that area. And I've taken it back, all the way back to what looks like a passenger record for John. And this is the piece where I want to connect him to my Franes. I have to go back and back and back. And I'm hoping that by looking at all the little pieces, some clue will arise, like on a naturalization page or something. I'll see, oh, my dad was from X, Y, and Z. Excuse me. And haven't got there yet, and I am saving that for another video as well. Sorry folks, but you got to keep turning into me. So that was my time in Ballantubber and Magger Boy. As you can see, I'm now in where am I? Claire Morris. And I have this lovely view. So the best part of the past week was probably just sitting around a turf fire in a living room or around a kitchen table and just talking to people, sharing what went on in their past and my past and the present, and finding those connections and just listening. A lot for us to tell each other if we'd only listen. So that's all for today. Talk to you again. Bye.